All right, looks like we can get started. I don't have Facebook Live open, but hopefully someone can help out with that. Sound is good on Facebook? Okay. Okay, and then someone on Zoom, if someone can confirm that we can hear on Zoom. Ed, is there a way to make sure that they can hear us? Okay. I think we're good to get started. So, my name is Fabiola. I'm the Community Outreach Coordinator with the City of Greenfield, and I'm going to be sharing some details about this very new department during this workshop. Just a couple things that I would like to remind those in the audience is if you do have a question or comment, you can come up to one of the microphones so that all the participants can hear your questions. Other than that, let's get started. So something about this workshop, I think it touches on a point that the city manager made during his workshop to the goal to ensure healthy and enriching environments for all Greenfield residents. I think that really touches on our goal with the community outreach department. So to outline some of our goals, it's to encourage and support strong community relations in the city of Greenfield. And this could be through organizing events, coordinating volunteers for meetings so that they can have a meaningful share in outreach projects and programs, and really to build a stronger relationship between the city and the community. And the other goal is to provide access to programs and resources that help our families during times of need. So how are we doing in these areas? As we discuss how we're doing what this department has been doing, please keep in mind that this department got started just last year in early 2021. So one more thing, there will be a question slide displayed to give opportunity to ask questions. So some of the things that we're doing. We realize that there is a need for resources that will reach all ages, but I wanted to address something that was recommended by City Council, the needs of our senior community. And we'll go into some slides that show the events and resources that we have been planning to bring to the community. The first one, you've probably seen it posted on Facebook earlier today, is our first senior social event. This is going to provide just a nice time for our senior citizens in Greenfield to enjoy free lunch, live music, and access to resources in that area. The details are on the post on Facebook, but we're also going to be sharing it. We'll be posting it in different areas in the community and trying to get the word out as much as possible. This will be happening every month on the second Wednesday of each month. So please, we do encourage you, those watching on Facebook and on Zoom, that if you are interested or you have a loved one who is 60 years or older, please encourage them to join and join us for this event. Registration is needed so that we can ensure that we have the proper number of meetings for everyone. So that's one of the, oh, yeah. Yes, there's going to be a question section. There's going to be a question section in a few minutes, just after a couple of these slides, okay? Yeah, thank you. Another one of these events that will be going on for our senior community is connecting seniors with technology. This is a free tech workshop for seniors 60 years and older, really to discuss something that's very important for all of us, but really teach them about online safety, threats, antivirus protection, Google Calendar, emails, Zoom, and more. This will be held here at the Chambers Room at the City Hall on September 7th. So along with this, there's also another one going on specifically for residents at Los Ositos on August tomorrow, August 24th. That one is specifically for Los Ositos residents, and we're trying to look for more locations to make sure that others have access to this information. We also realize that transportation to events like this is needed for many of our seniors. So, so one of the things that we're currently working on is creating partnerships and trying to find out what transportation resources available to bring seniors to, for example, these events that we're having and future ones as well. We are currently in communication with IT and transportation service to discuss the cost and what we would need in order to have them help us with these events and just day-to-day of our residents. Some of the other things that we are planning is a senior council, an advisory group to provide city council or city staff with their needs that must be met. We're also working on bringing more services. We're in contact with agencies like that provide balance classes, nutrition classes, more tech support, and just some more resource events that we can bring to Greenfield. Realize that there's a lot in different cities, but bringing them to Greenfield is really important for us. And one of the ways that we can do this is by providing agencies that provide the resources with the location. For example, one of the buildings of the city wants available. Forgot to put a question slide in between. Does anybody have any questions so far about some of these senior programs, senior events in the city? If you can come to the microphone, please. Thank you. And one other thing, microphone, if you can talk right into it, that would be really helpful. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Jose Vasquez. I am a member of senior citizen of the Monterey County. My thing is, what kind of senior advisory council you try to make?
Right. So the senior council, it's something that we realize is needed. And I don't know if you remember that it was brought up at a city council meeting by one of the council members. So that would be part of this department, the community outreach, to make sure that we make a plan on how we're going to establish this. We're wondering if we should imitate a council that has been established for already over 50 years in the city of Irvine. We have an amazing senior council that works with the city council. And they really work hand in hand. And so what we're trying to figure out is how we can start the planning. How are we going to choose the members? Is a city council member going to choose the member? Is it going to be a volunteer application with your interest to be part of the council?
You want to be a member, what can I do?
I'm sorry?
I want to be a member.
Oh, that would be great. I've actually heard about you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so we have your, I've heard that you would be one of the first people who'd be interested. So I really appreciate that.
Another thing, I saw the other thing, an event you have,
What was that?
the event you have maybe this month or next month. The event for the senior citizens.
For the, this event?
Yeah, the other one, that one,
This one. So this one's starting September 14th.
September 14th.
Yep. And that is from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Which place was supposed to be?
That's here at Memorial Hall.
It's very
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We wanted to make sure that we found an indoor
In
location.
case you need help, you call me.
I definitely
I'll help
will.
you.
I appreciate
Because
it.
it's very important you make this kind of events, something, because I hear the senior citizen in Greenfield especially don't have any place to go,
Right.
any activities.
Right.
We need activities, like for example, right here in the memorial, for the senior citizen and for the young people.
Right. And that's
Especially-
really,
Another thing is, the senior citizen of Greenfield, we need a little place to come to rest. Because I visited Lero, 5 or 6 senior citizen in Carmelo, in Seaside, in Salinas. You got a little space, but those people want to go in the morning to do something.
right, right. And that's really the purpose of this. And that's why we wanted to focus on our senior community, because we realize that there is a great need for things like this, places for them to go, places to enjoy meals with friends.
Well, sorry, I took so much time. Okay?
No,
But-
thank
but
you so
another thing
much.
is, we need a place like the memorial to bring a food just only once a week for the senior citizen. I know who provide this kind of free food or the city councils have a little money to make it one a month, a food special for the senior citizen.
Right,
Because many senior citizens don't need sometimes.
yeah.
Don't have
Yeah,
money.
and you're right. And this is something that the development of the senior council can really help us to pinpoint the priorities such as the ones that you're bringing,
Mhm.
so that we can make sure that we in this community outreach department are addressing these needs. So we really appreciate
Okay.
that. And we're gonna keep in touch so that we can,
What time is it?
Pick your brain about
11
that.
to 1 o'clock?
yes, 11 a.m. to 1 o'clock.
You pass the
Um,
flyers? We just.
We're gonna be passing flyers, yes.
You pass the-
yeah, we
you
just-
pass the flyers to the-
Definitely. I'll reach out to you to
Okay.
help pass those out. Thank
very
you.
much.
I'll look for hands raised. On Zoom. Doesn't look like there's any hands raised. So, we'll move on to the next. The next portion. Another, program that we've been putting together is, I have my notes to make sure I don't forget any details. An internship program. We believe that this is important to support local college students to gain real life skills and to support them in making an impact in their community. And that's why, and the way this came about, I'll give some details about this. We had a student Braulio Fabian. He's currently attending San Francisco State University. He gave us a call, asked if he can do some community hours. And that's how this realization that a program like this is really important to have. I'll give you a little bit of the details about Braulio, who is the city's first intern, as far as I know. He's from Moroleón, Guanajuato. He moved to the States when he was in 5th grade. He's currently living in Greenfield, and as I said, attending San Francisco State University, completing a bachelor's degree in psychology with a minor in counseling. And for those of you in the audience, that's probably right there. And so here's the impact that this can have that an intern can have on the city, using Braulio's example. With some direction, he immediately began working on getting these tech classes to our seniors. He began communication to plan a location, plan a date, make sure that all locations were accessible. And he already has 2 of these tech support classes set. One of them being here at the chambers, and the other, as I mentioned, that also this community center. And he's working on a 3rd location as well. He's also assisting with coordinating high school volunteers to help decorate and set up for the senior socials that will be held monthly. And he's still working on doing more to work in fields and communities. So interns so we see the effect, the positive impact their work can have on the community. But interns would also benefit by gaining this real life professional skills to add to their work. They can get a great letter of recommendation from their supervisor at the city and either of the departments they work with. And this will really give them great experience to be job ready after graduation, or just to pique their interest at different jobs. Some of the discussions that we're having in the planning process is that after we see what the needs are in an internship program, we need to, of course, develop a strategy for the future interns that can come into the mental health. We're considering the possibility of providing stipends for their work and recognition for the impact that they have, or for the hard work that they provided. So are there any questions about this internship program for others, or any other questions? Okay. So some of the grants that I've assisted with this department, the main one is the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, which we'll go into a little more detail later. There's a part 1, which was the first round funding, and part 2. This was intended to assist with rent, utility, and internet bills, and as well as legal services, in the sense that if someone in Greenfield was facing eviction for being unable to pay their rent, then we would refer them to a local law center. And the program would also help with covering these legal services. Some of the grants I've assisted with, Paul brought these out to the city manager. Paul Wood brought these out in his presentation. The fire department, I've taken part in helping finding funds for a command vehicle SCBA refill station to provide, uh, this SCBA refill stations is to, refill the breathing apparatus that firefighters use in a structure fire, structure fire. And also with the very big project was the backup, emergency backup generators for critical locations in the city. So these, of course, are still in the application have been submitted phase, and we're waiting to hear whether we will receive any funds. With the police department, have assisted in applications for funds for body worn cameras, as well as a tobacco program that will probably be brought up in more detail. So to go over this emergency rental assistance program, this grant funding is really what brought this department into existence. The need for help in the middle of the pandemic. The city applied for part of this funding, and then the need for this outreach department was realized to a great degree. You've probably seen a flyer that looks similar to this. You've seen it in your water bill, enclosed with your water bill on 2 occasions. If you went to the food drive across at Memorial Hall, you likely received a flyer on, with your box of food on multiple occasions. 2 pop-ups for helping people with filling out applications. One at an apartment complex, and another pop-up was at the salaries. The words is over at the gazebo. Yeah, so the festival they have there in Santa Cruz. The farmers market, there we go, sorry about that. So there was another pop-up there where we helped those in the community to receive one-on-one or direct assistance with this application. I also participated in several parent cafe workshops at the school district to make sure that parents at the schools knew about this funding that is available. This was all in an effort to make sure that those in need realize that we had this funding available. At this point, the application are close to those who have modified because of the waiting list that we've now. So hopefully we'll have an update on whether the applications will be reviewed. Another thing that we did provide was for those in our community whose main language is Pinky, we provided an interpreter to assist them one-on-one with the application documents. So for the emergency rental assistance part 1 funding, the city applied for a total or was granted a total of $399,000 in funding, and we'll see the difference between direct assistance and administrative is direct is what is directly helping with rents, with utility bills, and things like that directly for the public. Most grant funding have a percentage of those funds that are meant to be used for paying parts of the salaries of those who will be administrating this fund, as well as materials, supplied materials to make sure that that we have everything we need for the programs. So we realized quickly that there was a need for more funds as these were quickly exhausted. So we applied for additional funds for a total of in a total amount of $525,000, and that total ERAP one funding was just over $900,000, which has been completely exhausted at this point. So that has been spent in assisting with backgrounds and unpaid utility bills for those in our community who are affected by the pandemic. URAP 2, which is the funds that we currently have, we applied for the next portion of funding, and we're granted a total of $1,026,000. We are currently, I tried getting the exact numbers, but our system is, so, or maybe I couldn't access the numbers, so I'll definitely provide an update as soon as possible with that. So, like I mentioned, we're currently in the middle of spending these funds for the emergency rental assistance, the second portion. And at this point, because the applicants that we've received have, based on the amount that they applied for, and that they say that they owe, all of these funds are already set aside for those particular applications. If later we realize that either some do not qualify, or we were unable to assist them for any reason, we may be able to reopen this application process, this application form. So, some continued resources as this ERAP program winds down. The desire to address long-term housing needs in Monterey County. There's this desire to address these needs through partnerships between those who participated in the emergency rental assistance programs and housing pipeline committee. The first meeting was May 26th. And really that was just to get it started addressing the needs in our area. And the second meeting that I think is participating in is still to be involved. Really, we realized through this URAP program that the cost of rent, the cost of the amount of need that there is out there is the reason that we want to continue to do what we can to be part of these and providing, bringing some more resources to our community. One of the other meetings that this department has been attending is a youth systems meeting to address youth homelessness, and that's something that I have been in communication with the school district to ensure that we realize what the need is, we find out what the need is in the city, and do our part to address it with the other partners who are involved. Another resource that we have, some more details about this one will be posted on Facebook and shared around the community, is the LIWA program, Low Income Household Water Assistance Program. So we realize that many are still in need of help. If they weren't able to get help through the ERAP program, then this more information on this water assistance program will be provided. It is intended to help with low-income eligible households with a one-time payment of unpaid water bills up to $2,000. And then we'll get that information to you as soon as possible. As we brought out in the previous workshop, some of the event planning that this department will be involved in is, for example, the Harvest Festival, making sure that there are more resources for those of all ages, including our seniors. One thing that I do want to discuss is what kind of other regular festivals that I keep bringing up the need for, or how nice it would be to have regular festivals as we see other cities have regular festivals that our families talk about attending on the weekends, or it would be great for us to be able to plan things like this on a more regular basis for the community. So I would love any ideas in this regard, and we'll open it up to questions, but for those ideas, or if you have any questions that you'd like to ask me directly, this is my direct line and my email. So that is all for this presentation for the Community Outreach Department. And thank you guys all for attending. Please reach out if you have any questions for me, or if you want to bring any events, if you're part of an organization and you want to see if the city would be able to assist with that, please do reach out. Yes. Can you do coming up to the microphone? I'm sorry. Thank you.
I just wanted to know if maybe the little market, the gazebo, can be extended maybe year round. I know King City has one Wednesdays and Fridays. That's a year round. So it's just a thought, maybe we can continue with having that event.
Right.
And maybe a little bit longer hours or,
Right. I'm gonna make a note of that.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It's something that I as this department is trying to grow in its capacity, taking on some responsibilities that we in other departments, realizing that that should possibly be a community outreach department event, for example. So I'll definitely look into those possibilities for the Harvest Festival and for the gazebo events. I know there's a contact, so we'll keep in touch about that.
Fabiola, the
Yes.
the senior committee, is that filled out or are you still looking for people?
So we're actually just starting to the process of whether we're gonna do I have to meet with the city manager to get some ideas about whether that's gonna be a voluntary, would we reach out to the community to submit
Okay.
applications to show why they would like to be part of this committee.
So whether it's a voluntary or an
Right.
appointed position?
Right, an appointed position, so that's something that we definitely want to discuss.
Okay, yeah, I would love to see that expanded. That would be
course.
great.
Yeah, that's one of our main goals. Right now.
And did I hear you right? The rental assistance, we gave away about $1.7 million on the rental assistant grant.
So at this point, we've exhausted the first round. And that is, for the first round, that was the number here, 924,762. I was unable to generate a report for what is left in the second round, but we had a total of direct assistance. We have a total of $900,000 for direct assistance, and we have from the last report that I had was just over $40,000.
Wow, that's great. That's really good.
But I'll
And the
definitely
water
update-
assistant, is that a new program, the water assistance?
That's a program that is provided through Cal water. They
Oh.
have partner agencies. The one that will be covering Greenfield is actually Central Coast Energy Services. And so Greenfield is being that, I guess, mediator to ensure that they have all the documents or to make sure that we provide the information.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
Yes, thank
Sounds
you.
great.
And we have a question on Zoom, and I think you can unmute yourself.
Hi, yes. I'm not sure if you mentioned something about this. The sound was a bit muffled throughout the presentation, but I'm wondering what type of outreach processes or steps will be in place to ensure that community members are aware of these type of activities and resources that will become available and that they have access to it.
Right, and are you referring to the senior?
I'm referring to all the outreach activities, so the senior, the new rental assistance program, like what type of steps or processes are in place to ensure community members are aware of these resources. Yeah.
Great question, and something that I was discussing with Braulio, our intern, is that we realize that some people see things posted on social media, but what would be more effective is possibly going to them. We did this with the emergency rental assistance. The person who was helping at the beginning phase of this in early March of last year, he would actually go to, for example, Rancho San Miguel, ask for permission to stand out there and pass out flyers. He would, again, for example, go to the food drive here at Memorial Hall, make sure that if we had this kind of important information, really all information for events and resources, we go to where everyone is. So that's one of our other methods will be to share these flyers at locations where people tend to gather and make sure they get one in their hand and provide a brief description if they give us the time to. Of course, this is also going to be posted at locations like the rec center, at the doors here at our information bulletin, here at the city hall, and then up front where if you go and pay your utility bill, you'll most likely see one of our flyers sharing this information. I hope that answered. And if you have any other suggestions, please feel free to email me.
Thank you.
And those on Facebook, I can't see if there's any comments, but I will definitely make sure that I look into that and respond in the comment box. Okay, I think there isn't any. Okay, so I will stop sharing. And thank you guys for being here. I appreciate your feedback.